sports, and obviously there is an Olympic Games very much on the horizon. Happy to say Daniel Wiffen has made the trek home from Japan now, and he's with us on the line. We appreciate the time. I hope the jet lag isn't too bad.
Yeah, nice to meet everybody. And yeah, it's okay. We just finished like our 30 hours of travel today, but I'm alive still, so that's good.
30 hours of travel. What do you do with 30 hours of thinking time?
Yeah, well, I mean, I was playing a lot of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. I can tell you that I am a millionaire officially 3 times, which is great. But yeah, I mean, we were a couple of us there who were flying, maybe around 10 of us, who flew back from Japan today. So we're just all talking basically for 30 hours.
Wow. Okay. Good man. Well, I'm tempted here to say congratulations. Is that the appropriate thing to say to someone who's finished 4th in 2 finals?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, yeah, I definitely say congratulations.
Yeah, I would too, but I didn't know how you'd feel about them, because it's an amazing showing, and yet nobody wants to finish 4th in anything. But I'm glad you're seeing the upside there. It's a hell of an achievement.
Yeah, I mean, going into it, especially, well, I mean, I'd start off with like PB'd and my 800 and my 1500 was just off, but coming away with the experience of being in those finals, which first time ever for me. And then I think the first time I think I'm the highest ever placing Irish swimmer in a world champs. I think we got 5th in like the 90s before, and then I've obviously moved down to 4th, so not too bad.
To say the least. In the 800 metres, you beat the Irish record by 5 seconds. You're now the European record holder, and it seemed like just a very dramatic race. You're 22 years of age, so on the face of it, I was thinking, well, you're so young and you're only going in one direction. And yet then I looked, the winner of the race is 20, and then second is Sam Short, the teenager from Australia, so he's in his teens. I'm not sure what age Bobby Fink from America is, but it's a young person's game, swimming. At 22, you've got a teenager and a 20-year-old ahead of you, so they're also improving at a rate of knots, I would think.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, as you said, it's just a lot of young guys going for it, and especially, well, I mean, both events, they were both, you had 20-year-olds to 20, I think Bobby Fink's 23. So I'm definitely in that age mix, and yeah, I'm just trying to move along with the sport as well, trying to progress at the same time. So yeah, that's what I'm trying to do.
Because I saw you beat 2 of the medal winners from the Tokyo Games, an Italian and a Ukrainian swimmer. I'm not sure what age those guys are, but they must be saying, hang on, who are these kids?
Yeah, I think 27s-ish.
They're ancient. They're, old men.
Yeah.
But in swimming terms, that's extraordinary to have you at 22, a teenager, and a 20-year-old suddenly leading the way as we head into the Paris Games. I guess it's always been a little bit like that in swimming, to be fair.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think the sport's growing rapidly with all this new technology in terms of training and stuff like that. So I'm not surprised that younger people are getting faster. And I mean, yeah, pushing towards the world record, especially in the 1500. I think they just missed it by a point, half a second or something like that.
And when you say the technology, Daniel, to the uninitiated like me, you jump in a pool, you start swimming. I mean, maybe you have nicer goggles and maybe your togs are a bit more dynamic in the water, but technology and swimming don't jump out to me immediately.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of like, I'm just talking about like what you wear, like the camera systems that we have in swimming pools these days. I train in Loughborough University in England, and we've got a whole 360-degree camera system, so I can literally look at my technique from any angle and pinpoint it and pick different parts which I want to change. I'll know instantly just from that camera system. So I say, well, technology, it just keeps evolving because we're just using everything to try and get better.
How new is that technology?
Well, I'm not sure how new it is, but it's fairly new, and I don't think a lot of people have it.
Okay, so you're one of the lucky few. And is there like an agreed, this is just the best technique, this is how you swim, so most swimming coaches in the world would look at your 360 view and be able to pinpoint what the issue is, or are there many different schools of what the best way to swim is?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's really up for the coach's opinion of what is going to be the fastest, but I think most of them, all strokes are going to be the same in terms of angles of where your hand goes underwater when you're pulling, and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, it can be different for everyone. I think everybody has their own different like little technique difference in the race, and yeah, so I guess it really is just what makes you go faster.
And how is it that you have this knowledge? How is it that you're so able to look at yourself and straight away see where the issue might be?
I think I put a lot down to my coach, I guess. He kind of knows what he's talking about, so I'm just trusting him of what he tells me to do, and maybe a bit of luck involved as well, that we've just tried something and it just seemed to work.
Was this an especially fast pool? I presume it's like tracks, you can have fast pools and slow pools. Just I'm so struck by the one race and you have the 4 fastest times in history. I'm not detracting from you guys whatsoever, please don't take it that way, but it is also an unusual feat.
Yeah, I think, well, what happens at World Champs now is that they have like a pop-up pool. So the building that it's in is probably not a swimming pool to begin with. It's just like a multi-purpose venue, and then they just stick a pool in there. They just build it. It takes probably 3 months. But yeah, I mean, it's obviously a fast pool because it's a World Champs pool. You've got those thick lane lines. You've got the 3 meters deep, and you've got the best blocks there, and everything's brand new. So it's yeah, I can say it's a very fast pool.
Are Olympic pools generally fast? Was Tokyo fast?
Yeah, it was fast. I think like every pool World Champs or Olympic level is all going to be the same, and they're all going to be fast. Okay.
And what makes a pool especially slow as a matter of interest?
So I'd say the depth of the pool. Most swimming pools you probably see are around 2 meters deep, where World Champs and Olympic pools are 3 meters deep, because that means that when you're swimming, the waves that you create will, like when they bounce off the walls, because it's deeper, that it's not gonna like bounce off the wall and then hit you. It's gonna like dissolve.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So that's that's why it's so much faster.
So you're clearly in great form. To swim this well against this level of competition is very eye-catching. Are you swimming now considerably better than ever? Or have you compare yourself to this time last year and the year before? Are we seeing a very different Daniel Wiffen in the pool?
Yeah, I mean, last year, if we compare World Champs to World Champs, last season I came 8th in the 800, and this year I came 4th, and I went 7:46, and this year I went 7:39, and then in the 1500 I was at World Champs. What was I? 14:57, and then I was 14:43, but my PB is 14:34. So,
what do you put that improvement down to?
I guess just hard work, and I think it takes quite a while for you to see results in the 1500. Like I'd say, you could be training for 2 years and you could not see a result, and then you could drop it all the time suddenly because you've just got that training block that you've just been doing, and then you finally got enough, like, I don't know, aerobic capacity or whatever to then post some fast times. So that's what I put it down to, is just the work I've been doing in training.
I know you're in your final year of your science studies over in Loughborough University, and obviously you're juggling the training as well. So how intense is the training? I mean, you swimmers like to get up early for a start. How many times are you in the pool a day? How many hours a day?
We've got 2 2-hour sessions a day. Sometimes they run over. A lot of the time they run over, to be honest. And it could be, I'd say, 16 to 20k, depending on what part of the season we're in, a day. And then we've also got a gym, like a strength and conditioning session in between as well. And then sometimes an ab circuit too. So you could be working for about 6 hours a day, and then every day, apart from Sunday, you get Sunday off. So that's good.
Very generous of them. I promise you this is the only instance in the interview where I'll compare my experience of swimming with yours, because I dare say they're very different. But of any exercise I would do, I mean, I wouldn't say like jogging rocks my world necessarily either, but I do find swimming the most mentally boring. There's just obviously very little to look at. So are you bored out of your mind at times swimming, or are you so concentrated on working on technique at every stroke that you find it very absorbing, or do you struggle with the boredom of, well, I'll be honest, Daniel, pretty much the same view every day?
Yeah, I think, well, everybody's going to deal with that boredom, I guess, in the pool, but it depends, I guess, who you're training with. I train with my twin brother, Nathan. Makes it a lot more exciting anyway, because we're probably just racing everything, so you're always concentrating then. And then, but yeah, I guess, I mean, I'm probably going to see like a Tuesday night session in the middle of the week, not even halfway, and I'm probably looking at it like, gee, we've got the rest of the week to go. I'm only on Tuesday. But a lot of time you just dive in, get that session done, and you're great after. You feel better after doing it than you do before. So
okay, so it's not like, to be fair, it's not like even you, an Olympian, you're enjoying every second of it.
No, definitely not enjoying every second. But I'd say I do love swimming. I think it's definitely one of the best sports out there, so I think that's why.
Yeah. So tell us about your twin brother then, because he's at an elite level as well, Daniel.
Yeah, he is. Well, so he's catching up now, to be honest. We didn't swim the same event, and because I think my parents are like trying to split us up because we probably argue too much.
Okay, you're sort of like the Klitschko's. Mum said no.
Yeah, but now he's decided that, you know what, I'm going to swim the same event as me. So he's doing decent. He won Irish summer nationals while I was away in Japan. He got like a massive PB, and he's qualified for European short course and the World Championships in February or March. I'm not sure what date they're at.
Yeah.
And then he's obviously on a great trajectory to qualifying for the Olympics, which will be pretty cool to see both of us there.
Okay, well, that would be amazing. And the background, Daniel. So I was reading you were both started swimming as babies up in Lisburn, and basically been at it ever since. The family moved over from Leeds when you were a youngster, is it? And then two. Okay, and then it's been coming through the ranks at Lisburn ever since.
Well, yeah. So
yeah. The English accent has held in there. Is that because the family, or am I just mishearing you, or is this a Loughborough thing?
Okay, I'd say some words. I'd say like people say, "Gee, you got a real heavy Northern Irish accent," and then some words I'll just like, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because I moved back over for university, and then when I come back over for Northern Ireland, like I'm back over for a month now. And then I'll get the accent back, and then I'll just keep going back and forth. So to be honest, you'll probably hear so many different accents from me.
Right, okay. And are your parents big into swimming as well, or is this like a slightly unexpected, pleasant surprise to them that they have like potentially several Olympians in the pool here?
Yeah, well, my mum used to swim, but nothing to like a high level, and my dad never swam, so maybe I guess it's a surprise. Yeah, I'd say it's a surprise.
Yeah, I think so. How did you find the Olympic experience in Tokyo?
Oh, amazing. I mean, it's pretty cool to go back to Japan. I kind of don't want to go back to Japan again, no. The flights are just too long for me. Yeah,
you can only be a millionaire 3 times, I think. That's enough.
Yeah. But it was amazing. I loved every second of it. The village, the whole experience of just experiencing that was great. And we had actually a decent sized team there. We had it was 9 of us or something like that. Swimmers there, so pretty cool to have that. A lot of others to experience it with, and then also just going in and smashing it up as well on the pool. I think I came like 14th, and the 1500 I came 23rd. So it's pretty good.
Yeah.
My mum actually told me that today, because the day I did my 1500 final was also the day that I did my 1500 heat in Tokyo. So in 2 years, I progressed from 23rd to 4th. So I thought it was pretty cool.
That is more than pretty cool, yeah. And I'm right in saying as well at the games that the swimmers have the luxury of being out first, so they don't have to wait around for a week or 8, 9, 10 days getting nervous. They get straight in there, and then frankly they just party for the rest of the games when everybody else is doing their stuff. It's kind of best event to be in at the games, I think, is swimmers.
Yeah, well, I think you're right. Well, swimming is like one of the biggest sports, I guess, at the Olympics. Everybody just seems to wants to watch it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't. To be honest, in the Tokyo Olympics, we had to leave literally straight away after finishing.
Of course, COVID. Sorry, I'm forgetting. So not the party games, the Tokyo ones. In fairness.
Yeah, but maybe you're right. Maybe I'll experience this now. I'll qualify for Paris, so I'll be going on to. I'm on the plane for that.
Yeah. Did you
experience that?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I hear it's a lot of fun. So hopefully you get that experience this time around. Mm-hmm. I'm wondering when you first started swimming, did you all just show amazing promise? Like, do you remember thinking, my God, here I am at 7, 8, 9 years old. I'm pretty much the fastest here of all my mates in the pool. Like how did you reach this level? Because swimming is one of those sports, obviously, where you can be genetically gifted and then you also have to train incredibly hard. Where were you in that spectrum? Was it obvious at an early level that you were super talented?
Yeah, well, I think the audience is gonna like this because I was absolutely if you looked at me when I was 12, 13, you would have thought there was no chance that he was gonna be able to swim at all.
Right.
I remember I did a talk in April to a bunch of younger swimmers from each of the counties, and I was just telling them about this, and then my old pathway coach was there, and he was telling me that he just couldn't believe how far I progressed. Because he said, looking at me in those lessons and when I was starting to swim, he was like, there's just no way you would have achieved so much, because just looking at the way you were swimming, it was terrible, basically. I was a bit harsh, but all right. But yeah, I mean, yeah, so I wasn't really good. I think I just worked hard, and I've always had these big dreams of world records, Olympic golds. So I mean, I just kept that in the back of my mind, and also having a twin brother kind of pushes you as well.
Okay, so amazing. So it was more gradual but steady improvement, as opposed to preternaturally talented earlier on, or a sudden clicking when you were 12.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't anything special when I was 12. I did make a couple junior competitions for Ireland. But I wasn't like the top swimmer or anything like that. Wow. And I'd say I probably only broke out when I came to university.
Wow, that's extraordinary. So this Olympic journey, quite unexpected. And were you like swimming obsessed when the games were on over the last number of years? I mean, is your bedroom adorned with Michael Phelps posters? Are you that kind of kid?
No, I don't really have Michael Phelps posters. I can't lie, I've got a lot of photos of myself in my room from the Olympics. Okay. But nothing before that.
So you weren't a super fan?
Yeah, no, I wasn't a super fan. I mean, I do watch a lot of swimming because I'm a fan of the sport, and I just like to do a lot of research as well on how to get faster. But no, I'm not a super fan, but I'd say I actually could probably classify myself as a super fan now.
And who, as a matter of interest, who has the technique, the best swimming technique, of the last 20 years, say, and including the present generation? Who do you look at and say, oh, that is proper technique?
Oh, I don't know. I've really got so much different technique. I like to actually say that my technique's the best, I reckon. Because
so Daniel, posters of yourself in your room and your technique is the best in the world. You got to have confidence.
Yeah, I guess I got the confidence, but I just try to think of people. Everybody's technique's kind of different, and I guess it's what you think looks the nicest. It's like very opinionated, and I think personally my stroke looks the nicest.
Okay, so you're an elegant, pretty swimmer. Yeah,
but I think it could be improved too. So that's what I'm going to try and looking for. You can always tell on the photos after the race.
Okay.
If you got that perfect half in, half out goggle line when you're breathing on your stroke, and it looks class. That's what you're looking for.
Right. Okay. So goggle half in, half out.
Yeah.
That's perfection. And if I mean, I don't want to lower you here, but if you had to say, who might be second to Daniel Wiffen in terms of technique of the last 20 years, is there anyone else that you thought, there's a real elegance there? Or it can just be for sheer speed that it mightn't have even been a pretty stroke. I don't know if prettiness and effectiveness go hand in hand necessarily.
Well, in my event, I'd say Florian Wellbrock, the German. He's a world record holder short course in a 1500. His stroke is amazing. And in terms of if you want something like not out of my event, the complete opposite 50 freestyle, there's an Australian called Cam McAvoy. He's probably got one of the best strokes ever. Fastest even.
Yeah. So. it's funny, like in certain sports, I think, like if I saw David Beckham kicking a ball at 10, I think I'd pick it out. And if I saw Rory McIlroy, if you see McIlroy's golf swing at 4, like that young, there's a DNA to it. It's however much he's been coached, however much he's worked with different people, there is just an intrinsic DNA because of his one, his way of doing it, but also like the length of your arms versus your waist versus your legs. You just have a certain swing. Is it the same in swimming? Is it just like at a certain point you can work and work and work, but you just have a DNA?
Yeah, well, yeah, we've actually had this argument so many times in my squad, because I'd say like majority of swimmers are that 6'4" benchmark, long arms, long legs, long torso. You just gotta be like, I don't know what it is, especially the long arms. I just need to notice, like, I don't know, my arms are huge compared to my height. It could be 6'9" or something like that.
Right.
I'm 6'4", so.
Yeah, it's interesting. Well, look, it sounds like you're making the most of the gifts you've been given. Paris is just around the corner. It sounds like you're in amazing shape. I mean, 4th in 2 finals. I saw you saying, do you have a strong preference, 800 or 1500?
I prefer the 8, but the 15 seems to be going my way at the moment.
Yeah, it does. So the plan for the next year, train your backside off, get ready for Paris and see what you can do, I guess.
Yeah, that's completely it. Just give it. Well, I'm actually competing again in a week and a half here in Dublin at the European Under-23 Championships. So
yes.
Go in there, smash out, get a couple of medals, and then take a nice 2 weeks off, and then get straight back into training and go for gold in Paris.
Listen, I love it. Pleasure to talk to you. We just wanted to touch base because your performances last week were obviously so brilliant, and congratulations on them. Daniel Wiffen, let's talk again. Take care.